So you take Fields over Watson right now?
Yeah,
1,000,000%, and it's not remotely close.
It's close.
There's not a quarterback in the league I'd take below
Dude,
Deshaun
talent-wise,
Watson. There's two on the Raiders and two on the Colts I'd take above
It's
Deshaun
not
Watson.
like I make the Deshaun Watson a bit because I think it's funny to make fun of that guy because I really don't like him. But he's been truly woeful this year. He's been talent-wise, outside of Aiden O'Connell. I'm trying to think of. I'd take Drake May over him. I'd literally take every quarterback over him.
Both of the Colts quarterbacks.
Maybe not Bryce Young. No
Bryce. Andy?
I'd take Andy over him. 100% I'd take Andy Dalton over him right now.
I think
that's
Browns,
just talent.
The Browns are 1-5 with Justin Fields at quarterback just as much as they're 1-5.
No way.
Yeah, I disagree
no
with that.
way.
No
way.
What's Fields doing that Deshaun is not? What's he going
all
to do?
All those stats
with
that
all
he just
the
said.
with all
and
the
I, and I was just making fun of Justin Fields.
Those passes,
but now I have to come back and defend
those passes that Amari Cooper and Jerry Jeudy consistently drop. They catch those for Justin Fields.
If you're asking me if I think the Browns would have more wins with Justin Fields than they do with Deshaun Watson, I think they absolutely would.
Based on what?
I think the offensive line has been terrible. I think Fields would get you more on the ground. I think Fields would be better than the worst EPA quarterback of all time. I mean, I think literally any quarterback would elevate this Browns offense pretty considerably.
But the Browns haven't been losing just because of quarterback play. They can't run the football. They can't block.
And I think a lot of that is because
receivers,
no one
when
respects
Deshaun
the
does throw
quarterback
really
play.
good passes, the receivers just straight up drop them. He had a beautiful pass yesterday that would have extended the drive to give him a chance to score a touchdown. Penalties bring them back. The drop pass again in a crunch time situation of a game. They catching that for Justin Fields. They catch
I think
that.
the Browns
Penalties don't happen. Penalties don't happen when Justin Fields is out there. This team's just magically healthier because Justin Fields is out there. I think this team, built as is right now, with all the issues they've had from week 1 to now, are 1-5 with Fields and 1-5 with Deshaun Watson. I don't think it matters.
I think the Browns blame starts and ends with Deshaun Watson. He's the reason they're bad. He's the reason they'll continue to be bad.
Yeah.
Then you don't watch the Browns because he's not good by any means. He's not.
He's
the
the worst
solution.
quarterback of all time.
He is not the solution.
Statistically, of all time.
Statistically, but when you also lead the league in drop passes, those passes that are caught that are perfectly right in your hands, that helps, and that takes
not
you out
enough
of that
to
equation.
swing you from worst all time to serviceable.
It clearly is with Justin Fields.
I think there's like 27 quarterbacks that would have more than one win than Deshaun Watson has with Cleveland. And again,
He didn't score an offensive touchdown last week.
He hasn't thrown for 200 yards. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. And that's again,
a lot of quarterbacks struggle to throw for over 200 yards in this NFL. That's. And
how many quarterbacks have not done that this year?
Yeah, that happens weekly. It happens every single week. There's a lot of QBs that struggle to. Joe Burrow barely threw for over 200 yards last night.
Got over it, though.
And he has Jamar Chase, who is God,
but
and
he has
T.
all
Higgins,
year,
who is Jesus.
And
so
Watson hasn't thrown for over 200 all year long.
I get that.
Has there been who are the quarterbacks that haven't done that have started every game and haven't eclipsed 200 once?
I don't know. It's got to be a short list.
I don't know how we find that information.
I'm not arguing Deshaun's top 10 or any of this, but his team has not done anything to really help him either on the offensive side of the ball. He's not as blessed as everyone to have a Jamar Chase and a T. Higgins and all the help that some quarterbacks do.
I'd probably put him at QB 36 or 7 this year. 35.
Yeah, I mean it's
well, both the quarterbacks in Green Bay, both the quarterbacks in Indianapolis.
Maybe not both the quarterbacks in Las Vegas.
I would take Minshew. I wouldn't take OC, but I guess they're taking OC over Minshew, so I will take them both.
It's like I think that Justin Fields is better than Jameis Winston, and I think Jameis Winston wins games. I think Jameis Winston wins games with Cleveland. And I think I also think...
good point. Both quarterbacks in Atlanta.
Yeah, both quarterbacks. I do think there's a point, though, and we can make fun of the drops, and that's a fair point. 100% a fair point.
It's not making fun of the drops. That's
That's
a valid point. If Jamar Chase and T. Higgins dropped a lot of passes,
sure,
that would be all your fan base would cry about. Oh, Joe Burrow threw a perfect pass, and
But I'm going to say something, and there's no statistical, there's no statistical backing of this point. But I do think there is something to when your team is playing for a guy that the whole world hates. And that everybody in the NFL and probably the locker room hates. I'm not going to speak for the Cleveland locker room because I don't know that information. But I'd imagine it's probably not all peaches and roses in that locker room at the moment. I imagine doing your job gets harder by the week when you consistently see your front office pick a guy that everybody knows isn't the answer. I think that goes into some of those drops.
You start to quit on the team when you put the second best quarterback on the field.
Yeah, I think that does go into play with it. I cheered for the Cleveland Browns last season in the postseason. I did. Casey can at least vouch for me on that one. I cheered for Joe Flacco and the Cleveland Browns.
So Amari Cooper is like, I'm going to catch this Screw it, it's Deshaun. I'm just
Well,
going to drop
listen,
it.
I know there's no.
This is some weird stuff.
I
This
know
is
there's
weird
no
mental
certainly think
gymnastics.
that's taking place.
I know there's
Absolutely.
no.
I want to
Absolutely.
catch it.
I know there's
forget
no
it. It's
statistical
Deshaun.
backing.
That
That's
team
the
is
stupidest
quitting on
thing I've
Deshaun.
ever heard in my life.
I know
Yeah,
there's
that
no,
team is quitting
I
on
know there's
Deshaun.
no statistical backing for my point. I'm just saying.
That's letting everyone else off the hook if you just say Amari Cooper is going to catch
I think
it. but
you're letting
because of
Deshaun
who's-
off the hook.
Oh, no, I'm not. Deshaun has been asked. I've been calling for them to sit there and put in Jameis Winston, but I've also been saying from week 1 that if Jameis Winston throws the damn football to Amari Cooper, he's going to drop it just like he's been dropping for Deshaun. It doesn't matter who's throwing these guys the football.
I think it
They
does.
lead the league in drops. Deshaun's not throwing the ball so damn hard that these guys can't catch the football.
The Browns
they
would not
lead
be
the
1-4
league in
without
drops. It has
Jameis
nothing to do with who's throwing them the football.
I think it does.
If Amari Cooper has sucked this year, so has Jerry Jeudy. When the ball's right in your hands, you catch it. It doesn't matter who's throwing it to you. I could go back there and throw the ball to Jerry Jeudy and Amari Cooper, and if it's right in your damn hands, you better catch it. It's not because it's Justin Kinner throwing you the football that you decide you don't want to catch it. You catch the damn football.
If we don't think the Browns will be better with any other quarterback, then we're in a lost argument.
I do think they'd be better with another quarterback, but I don't think that the Browns' whole problems go away and that they win a lot more football games. They're 1-5 with Justin Fields at quarterback, Gardner Minshew at quarterback, and all the other average quarterbacks that you're throwing out
Heavily
there that act like
disagree.
they're the savior.
Heavily disagree.
Boy, does Sunday gonna matter? Oh my goodness!
I can't wait,
If
especially because you're going to be gone. You're going to leave.
if Sunday goes into Sean's way, if it goes,
Shreds this defense.
boy, I just can't.
Boy,
show
I
up.
tell you, I swear when Joe
You're going to go to Elliott's house.
yes, outside of Elliott's house.
I'm glad I was the first to break Kinner. I
heartbeat's going
take
boom, boom,
great
boom,
pride
boom.
in that. I was the first. Look at his face. Look at how red his face is. That is. I'm just telling you right now. It's easier to do your job when there's somebody that's throwing you a ball who you actually respect and like and care for. That's just my opinion. There's no statistical backing.
There was a mutiny
for
in New
my
England when
point.
the offense looked better this week.
Correct. I'm just telling you right now that I do think that does come into play at some point. I could be wrong, but again, that's just my opinion. If I came into work every day and I hated Casey and Jacob and you, I would come in here and I'd pout and I'd sit here and you'd throw, hey Elliot, what's your thoughts on the Browns? And I'd go, man, whatever, man. And I'd just sit here and I'd pout. And
I'd be like, Elliot, I put it right in your hands.
you don't think it's at least a little bit plausible that some of the Browns right now are pouting and that they are just looking at this and being like, what are we even doing here? And you're going to throw me a ball? Who cares?
So why is it last year and the year before that when he was bad, they were playing for him? Why is
I think
it
they
this
played
year
harder when
decide-
Flacco took over last year.
I think they played absolutely better when Joe
They were
Flacco
actually,
took over.
the offense was playing better. The defense was great all year. The defense was great all year. The Browns are 5-1.
I still think the Browns defense is pretty good.
They were 5-1 with him at quarterback last year. I don't understand that. I mean, I don't get it. But I'm going to stop yelling, and we're going to wrap it up here today. Because I got to save some of my yelling for tomorrow for Delusional Buckeye fans.
Or at least you don't have another show you have to do live on air here for the next few
we'll have to have
hours.
a couple hours to calm down. Good,
Casey-
Elliot. It's been a while. I've always let it just go, and today you got me.
Well, it
You
seemed like the energy was a little lower today after a big win. I needed to get it back up.
I had to match Tom's energy
boy.
before he left today. I had to match Tom's energy. I love Tom. I had to match Tom's energy before he left today.
That's right. That's right. Should we do that to close out the show?
We should. Listen,
No.
Yes, but no.
Okay, fair.
Bengals win 17-7.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
That is all that matters.
That's all that matters. It comes down to Sunday at 1 o'clock.
The big show.
Boy.
You know what? I'm gonna invite. Can I jump on Chatterbox Bengals at halftime, depending on how the game is going? If it's going in my favor,
Absolutely.
I'll jump on with you. If it's going not in my favor,
No. If we're going to do that, we both have to agree that you're going to come on at halftime no matter what.
fair enough. Not the whole show.
Because
just-
otherwise I'll pull it if we're down, and otherwise you'll pull it if you're down.
fair enough. All right.
I'll make that agreement.
Okay.
Halftime, I'll send you a link. You come on. All right. Oh,
there you go. I will have a
That
couple.
might suck.
I would have had a few drinks by then.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's
that's
okay.
fine. That's fine. We'll lock in.
All right.
It's going to be a big old game on Sunday.
Could do like
Big
the start
old
of the
game.
fourth quarter, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I don't
Whatever
know if
you-
I want him
whatever
on
you
at that point. Halftime, I can at least talk myself into a comeback if it's going poorly.
All right. Well, that wraps it up for us on
What
the radio
can
side.
the wager be? Can we make a friendly wager? Since he offered a different kind of wager, but is there a wager that we have for this game?
Do you have the Browns and Bengals helmets?
Yep.
Are they real helmets, or are they like the signed ones with the paper in the middle?
No, they're real helmets.
Okay, I'll wear the Browns helmet for the full 2-hour show if we lose. That'll hurt my neck.
If the Bengals lose, I'll think of something by the end of the week. I'll think of a punishment by the end of the week.
Fair enough. All right. Well, that wraps it up for us on the.
That's a good one.
It is.
It's a
I'm
good
fine
one
with
today.
that. What do I have to do though if the Bengals win?
We'll decide that as well. We got a week to decide.
Let the
this.
chat decide. Not decide. Let the
boy,
suggest.
chat, you get to decide.
Yeah,
what
So
the punishment
we're
is
going
for
to
Kinner.
not decide. They get to-
Highest money super chat. Kinner will do it.
No, I'm not pimping myself out for some crazy. All right, that wraps it up on the radio side.